Hello everyone, welcome to The Green Man for another album review, and in this latest review I'm tackling the ninth studio album from Pestilence, Exitivm, which came out last Friday on Agonia Records. It is 12 tracks and is 39 minutes in length. Now this band I'm not actually hugely familiar with, vaguely familiar with their previous album, but I'm pretty new to them, so hopefully that means I may come into this review pretty unbiased, because I've got no prejudgment or not, a lot less than I would perhaps with a band whose discography I know inside out. And on the first listen, I really quite enjoyed what I was hearing here. There was some really interesting kind of slightly discordant sounds and chord choices, some intriguing chords going on here that gave me a feel of a slightly almost industrial vibe to this death metal sound that I just found really interesting. And that was one of the things that kind of hooked me into this album quite quickly, was those interesting riffs and chord choices. Really liked the third track, Deificus, as one of the first tracks, which I really did enjoy. Really cool machine gun shredding kind of riffing going on here, which I thought was awesome, with that super fast drumming in that particular song. Really liked Mortiferum. Exitivm, the title track, had a sick riff, which is one of those that you want to go back to and listen to again when you've heard it first time through. It was interesting that they chose to start, a lot of bands choose to start with an introductory instrumental track. This one, 3 minutes, maybe that was so much for me having that, and then also the one at the end as well. And they obviously were going for an album with everything in between, being all the kind of pretty much, more brutal, nasty sounding death metal that we were all waiting for. I think, to be honest, even though I did really like this on the first listen, I won't lie, I did really like this on the first listen. After multiple listens, it maybe hasn't had quite the lasting effects that I was kind of hoping it would. That's just being entirely honest, really. That at this stage, I don't feel this album has quite grabbed me as much as I thought it would after multiple listens. And I was trying to think, why that might be. And I think the riffing at times, actually, although there are some really good choices in this album for me where they go musically, also there is some repetition. And for me, sometimes the repetition is a little too much. And I don't think this is a big criticism, but it's enough for me that, if I was scoring this album as a whole, listen to this album, in that whole rather than in its individual parts, it would make me score it a bit lower than I might have otherwise done. My first listen was probably an 8, but fifth, sixth listen of this album, I'm now more at about kind of a low 7 or high 6, I would say, with where I am at right now. But some really, with a lot of these kind of more technical death metal bands, there's also musicianship. The guitar solos are killer. There's some really killer solos on here with those changes and breakdowns. I absolutely love that. And I still think that the album maybe still has potential to come back more on my radar as I listen to it again. And as a whole, as I say, it just may not have that lasting value that you look for when you buy one of these metal albums. Saying that, as I say, a few individual tracks here, really good, really kind of, as I say, there's something unique about Pestilence, I think, that does make them give that bit of distinctiveness. But I didn't feel like with some of some of that repetition, that it was quite enough for me to feel super excited about it. And that's just being absolutely honest and the way I feel, I guess, at this point in time. But anyway, what did you feel about this album? What were your favourite tracks? Where would you rate this in its discography? Also, as I'm pretty new to Pestilence, I welcome suggestions for listening to other albums. If you think maybe that another album to listen to would be a better choice for me to start off with than this one, or whatever, that may well be the case. Would love to hear from you. Anyway, do feel free as ever to like and subscribe if you want to. Otherwise, have great evenings. I'll see you all hopefully again sometime. Take care.